Hi. Well, hey, another commission that I have to do. So this is going to be, oh my god, this intro is so clumsy. Anywho, so hi, how are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm preparing myself to start another commission that I'm really excited about. I'll give details during the videos. I'm not quite sure what to say at this point because it's just going to be me drawing, and I hope that I can give you more info about my process during this video, because in the first episode I threw a lot of footage away where I was just talking to the camera, and then I just made like a clip of me doing the thing. So this time I think I'm going to walk you guys through it more, and let's see how it goes. So my next commission is going to be She-Hulk pole dancing. So I'm really excited about this one. I think it's going to be fun. This commission is going to be on my comfort zone, so I'm pretty happy about it. But since the guy ordered it, I already knew I was going to do it in gouache on a colored paper. So I have this one here. It's a little flimsy. It's not a really thick paper, but the quality is still good enough, and I think it looks so good with gouache that I really want to try it. I think he's going to like it. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to Pinterest and finding some interesting images of girls pole dancing, and I'm going to sketch them a little bit just so I can get comfortable with the poses and practice a little bit. That's the studying part of the commission. It's not the most fun part, but let's do this.
It's only beholding in them fold to the nose hole. Fuck you tucking your elbows, yeah, we're hell in the ozone.
Hi everyone. So first of all, I got really embarrassed by the amount of likes, so and of the last voiceover. So you will be glad to know that I finally written a script for this. So I did not film the sketching process because I still feel self-conscious of... No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't worry. Okay, yeah. I didn't film the sketching of it all because not only I still feel a little self-conscious of having a camera pointed at me as I draw, but also because that's a part of the process where I feel I need to focus a lot. And for that to happen, I put my face really close of the paper. What you guys are watching now is a little character study that I like to do for my most expensive type of commission that really helps me improve my drawing skills. And even though I still feel my style has that same face syndrome, I'm making an effort to change that in each commission. So eventually I'll get better, I'm sure of it. Behind the wall in my mind. was doing some palette tests. I have some difficulties saying this word, pronouncing this word. Anyway, I wasn't really sure if I wanted olive greens, because I'm a sucker for them, or if I wanted more bluish greens. At the end, the greens with more cyan on them turned out prettier against the purple paper, so that was my choice for her skin tone. I also like to think, as I was rewriting the character, how my version of She-Hulk would be. She-Hulk? I may be pronouncing this weirdly, but you know. So, I know that originally she was created for copyright reasons. Stan Lee wanted to register all the female versions of the other Marvel characters so no one would. And her backstory is basically this. She is Bruce Banner's cousin. Her name is Jennifer Walters, a lawyer that gets hurt somehow. I don't remember. And she needs a transfusion. And Bruce is the only one around that has the same blood type, and he uses his blood for the transfusion. I think he does the transfusion himself. Something like that. And then She-Hulk is born. And since she got her powers from a transfusion and not from gamma ray exposure, she has more control over her powers than Bruce does. That's how I interpreted it.
Every time we touch, your hands are colder, colder. There's no beating coming from your wooden chest. Frozen grin, a mannequin when I get close.
Now going back to how I would write her, I don't really remember because I did this research a long time ago and I don't feel like looking for it again. But for some reason, there's a moment of her story where Jennifer chooses to stay as She-Hulk. And since she's not like Hulk, that kind of has two personalities, she's pretty in control and basically is the same person as Jennifer and as She-Hulk. And that gives us some opportunities to make her really interesting, because if I got powers like that, I would also prefer to stay as She-Hulk in some situations, especially because I'm really tiny and small and people usually treat me with less respect because of that. So that's an important thing that I seek every time I'm working on character development, something that I can empathize with, but being careful not to turn every character I write into me, because that would be really lame.
If you can cry real tears, then you're gonna cry them all for me. If you can feel real fears, then I'm gonna leave you shivering. I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna make you into a real boy, the big reveal boy. Gonna make you feel, boy, just like a real boy, just like a real boy.
You have chosen to seek professional assistance in understanding the art of human love. Step 1. Engage your partner in a series of increasingly intimate questions. Then, answer the same questions openly and truthfully. Step 2. Wait until an appropriate level of personal rapport has been achieved before participating in skin-on-skin contact. Step 3. Remain emotionally present during intercourse, periodically gazing into one another's eyes until the final moment.
Now going back to the painting, I love working with acrylic gouache. They don't reactivate when we layer them, and since I'm still working on my own technique of painting, this kind of material makes it easy for me. They also dry faster than acrylics. I will actually speak more about these paintings later on. So I feel like I have to say something about this, but I'm aware that there's a Disney show about She-Hulk that is coming next year. I guess it's next year. And I'm really excited to see it. But let me be clear that all this stuff I'm saying here doesn't come from privileged information or something. I'm really making this stuff up as I go. And if I get something right, I can assure you that it will be just a coincidence, okay? I just want to say that in this commission I used a lot of dry brush to give volume to the drawing, and I was pretty pleased with the result.
So it seems that I've been rather foolish for some time, trying to chase a life, the dreams you left behind. You told me go on a sea where they might lead you in the end. You never know until you've seen it all for yourself.
But let's go back to how I would write She-Hulk, because I'm having fun with this. So I believe it would be interesting to have Jennifer being a really insecure, skinny, tiny, introverted, and pushover person that is always taken advantage of. And since she's a lawyer, that can be a profession that is a real boys club, we can have her working in an office where her colleagues treat her like an assistant and not as an equal. She has to buy coffees for everyone, never gets to be part of the meetings and stuff like that. That being said, it's not a real original idea. So maybe we can make the opposite of this. We can make her a really accomplished professional that fought her way into the boys club and can't really show any weakness, because she feels all her colleagues are waiting for her to make a mistake. So she can be a really strong, self-absorbed shark of a person, you know? And when she gets her powers, we can have funny situations where she gets angry with someone and can't really hide it because of her powers showing. So she can lose it with someone, scream at them to shut up, and then her face gets all green with veins popping up on her forehead and neck, and then she goes back to normal. Or she can bang her wrist on the table and her arm swells up, all green, wrecking her sleeve and breaking the table in half. We could have really funny moments with that. And to finish this voiceover, I think I have to say that this background made me really scared that I was ruining the drawing. Some of you may agree. I think I preferred it without it, but this rate of a commission included a background of some kind. In the end, it didn't look so bad. I ended up liking the result, but I have to confess that I think the contrast of the paint and the paper got a little lost. In the first video, I thought I thought it was missing a part where I would show you guys the materials I used. I'm not a professional experienced painter or anything, but I think it's nice to show what I'm using. So I'm using Turner gouache, acrylic gouache, because here in Brazil they don't sell the Holbein, that is this one. I used a little bit of the Holbein, I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway. I have a little bit of the Holbein because I bought the last time I went to New York. But anyway, it was a long time ago. I think it was October 2019, the last time I traveled. So I used these two colors, and the other ones were from Turner, and they are quite nice. I don't see much difference. What I saw, because I saw reviews of this gouache before buying it, is that the only difference is apparently this one dries out faster than the Holbein does. But up until now, my tubes are fine. But anyway, I didn't even use the jet black that I have here, and the brushes don't really matter because I have really crappy ones. I also used these Faber-Castell color pencils for some stuff, but it was really almost nothing, just to give a texture to the bricks. And I used a little bit of gel pens to give some details, some tiny details on the hair. But other than that, it was just acrylic gouache. So I'm pretty happy with the result. Really proud of it. She turned out really pretty. I guess that's it. I mean, I'm going to do the conclusion. I'm going to end this video here and say thank you for watching. If you guys saw it until the end, thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you can, so this channel can grow. And click on notifications if you want to be if you want to know when new videos are coming up. What more do the famous YouTubers say at the end of the video? I guess that's it. I mean, leave a comment if you guys want to see something specific. I'm going to do a sketchbook tour soon because I have one here that is all filled. And I guess that's it. Thank you. Bye.
Let's hope they last forever.